So now I'll just go over quickly how to set up a helicopter qualification. It's nothing too hard and works on any map. You can just set it up in different spots. Right here I'm testing it on DL because I just like the looks of it, but it doesn't matter what map is it really. So it's as simple as finding 4 LZs at first, 2 blue markers. So 2 blue markers will be simple land and take off, no smoke, no tricks. Just ask the pilot to land as close to the marker as possible, perfectly on the marker. Make sure the marker is possible. Now you might post it in an impossible space and then judge the pilot whether he can actually pick a spot for himself. That's also a very good quality, but it's not needed. Right here, for example, with the silos, if you're not sure whether the helicopter will fit it, just spawn one in, try to drag it. This LZ is by all means possible, it might be required, and I've got already pilots done that exact LZ, so yeah. Now the next two LZs will be purple ones. The purple ones just include a smoke within 500-meter radius. So here I'll be placing one just in the town, and the smoke will actually go onto the roof of the very building. So also, if you're not sure, same thing, just spawn a heli, see if it fits. Also good if the pilot knows the rotor clearance. So for example, this bricks right here should not be an obstruction to landing. Same thing goes for low walls. He should be comfortable to land depending on the aircraft with that wall inside the rotor clearance, because they're just higher than the wall. It's also a good idea to maybe post purple markers with a smoke LZ inside the forested area and just pop smoke somewhere in that forest. So this way it tests whether the pilot can actually spot the smoke and whether he actually looks for it. Now the smoke itself is with the module, spawn effect and purple smoke. It's good to pre-place one and then you just have it on your top right star, which is your last use. And then you simply, when you hop in the co-pilot seat, you can just simply place the Zeus over the first purple marker, quickly hop in and spawn the smoke, and that's it, you're back in the co-pilot. Now also do one red marker, and that's gonna be a night one, so just pre-spawn one guy with both a laser and an IR strobe on. And when the pilot calls in on short range, so pick a short range and stay on it with him. You can teleport yourself, that's also a thing. And just when he calls in for guidance, you just put a laser in here, you just pop an IR strobe in, and that's it, you wait for him. Now after that it's going to the emergency states. Before the qualification itself, you should ask the pilot whether he is familiar with the emergency procedures, so both the rotor loss and the engine loss. At that point you either leave it at the LZs and then show him the emergency procedures and ask for him to just practice it himself, because that's a lot of practice you have to take in, especially for the auto rotations. And when he's ready, just ask him to fly somewhere safe over the field if possible, just for a testing purpose. For the tail rotor, for example, I pick it out mid-flight, as you double click on the heli, go into damage, and the view rotor you put it up to max. You might also have to click the little arrow for it to work, making sure it's at 100%, so I always just click it somewhere 90% and just bump it up to 100 with the little arrow, press OK, and it happens. The way I always do this is just pop it somewhere mid-flight and tell him to RTB or land in a specific spot, for example the airfield. And he lands there, no problem. Then I ask him to just fly up in the air, because we also have to test whether he can regain control of the aircraft, and fly towards, for example, the first LZ, do a turnaround and come back and land on the airport. That's mainly to double check the tail rotor loss and also to check whether he can regain from a hover without the tail rotor. And the last thing will probably take you the most time is the auto rotation. Now auto rotation is a sketchy thing to test. I just ask the pilot to go somewhere safe, so again over the field, and you can ask him if he's ready, but you can just pop it mid-flight. If it's a field it shouldn't be really a problem. At that point you just take the main engine out and the main rotor out. You can fiddle around with all the other damages too. And after that it's just watching him land. If he crashes, or damages the aircraft significantly, that's not a failure in my eyes. Just tell him a couple of tips, for example, alright, use your energy a bit faster, a bit earlier, a bit of a higher altitude, so should work. Move on to the same thing, so again repair the aircraft or respawn the aircraft if that happens. Ask him to go another patch of field, turn the engine off again, turn the main rotor off again, and do the same exact thing. Now for auto rotation, it's enough if he gets 50% on the first try, so for example he fails the first one, you give him a tip, he scores the second one, and third one he crashes, fourth one he does, so that's enough for me, 50%. You can extend it up to 6 auto rotations if he needs that. Now if he fails, for example, 3 in a row, give him another chance, give him a fourth one, and see if he gets the hang of it or improves at any point. I've had pilots like fail 2 out of 4, one was done brilliantly and the other one was with the heavy damage of the aircraft, but again, heavy damage is no problem as long as anyone really walks out alive, that's good enough. And you can do that in both night or day. Day is a bit easier, it's actually a lot easier in the first person especially. I tend to do tail rotor right after the night LZ, so I tend to do tail rotor loss in night conditions, and auto rotation you can leave one at night and do the others at day condition. And after all of that, it's simply asking to RTB, and that's about it. There's not really much critical things. The most, if for example the pilot just fucks up the first 4 or 5 LZs completely, then don't even ask him for auto rotations. If you have something else to do, if you got the time, feel free to just instruct him on what he can do better. But if he fucks up completely the first LZs, don't even bother, and just tell him to improve. Tell him what did he fuck up, whether he was too fast, too low, too high, or whatever. Just guide him on. You can, of course, we don't really train pilots, just send him, I'll link the link in the description to dslyecxi's Bible for pilots, and just send him that, tell him to practice in the editor, and come back whenever he's ready and he feels ready. And that's about it.